Good morning, my friends. It's Kayla here, and it's been a little while since you've seen me. So today's video, as you can see from the title, I have actually been following a raw vegan diet for a short time. I'm not going to go into the whole why I haven't posted in a while thing, unnecessary. But what I do want to share with you is that I feel like I have finally found what's effective. And a lot of it has to do with the mindset and with how you approach each situation in life. So I guess this video is going to be twofold, because it's what I've learned and also something non-physical that I've been experiencing. And wow, it's just such a powerful thing. And some people may find this same experience in their bodies just when they, stop eating cookies or just some sort of big change for them. For me, I have experienced, I guess I'll go into the physical first because it's a shorter story. So non-physical. So non-physically, so non-having to do with my body, something that I experienced, and I've experienced this before. I experienced this last spring when I did that long stretch of raw. But now that I'm officially into my second week, I noticed that when I set out to do like a productive task, I just keep going. Yesterday I was doing laundry, and then I cleaned a bunch of stuff out of my car, and I cleaned out the fridge, and I just kind of started doing all of this tidying, all of this organizing and taking care of things that I've been avoiding for a while. And it's, it's like the inside reflects the outside. And I think I've talked about this before, but the more that I clean out the inside of my body, the more that I'm really discerning with how I feed myself, nourish myself, the more that my exterior self is discerning with how I spend my time and what I choose to do during the free time that I have, which I'm learning is a lot more than I thought. Sorry about that. Ambulance. So that's what's happening, and it feels really good because if you're familiar with my other YouTube channel, which I also have not posted on in a while, I need the tidiness in my life. I need the cleaning to happen. So that's happening, and I want to be really respectful of your time here because I know my videos tend to go on, so I'll try to keep this one short. So the second half here is something that I have learned on this time around. So I've talked about it before. This is all, recap for you guys. But the last time that I did a long stretch of raw, last spring, last April, May, I ended up falling off because of one meal. And I thought I made a good decision in that moment. But I also let my cooked food eyes and my carbivore self to take over. So what happened was, it was on Mother's Day, and we went to a vegan restaurant, and no one else in my family's vegan, so I thought that was really incredible, and I was really impressed with that. And so I kind of used that as an excuse to just do whatever I wanted. And I did start to make the positive, healthy for my body decision. Doesn't mean that the things that I consider unhealthy are unhealthy for others, but for me, I have this tendency to fall into an addictive, almost non-controlled pattern, and there are a few trigger foods, and I know I need to stay away from them. And so over the last couple days recently, I've had times where those foods have been exposed to me, and I have said no, and I've not even let myself consider the option. Just I've been listening to a lot of Tony Robbins lately, and it's just say if someone's quitting smoking or they recently quit smoking and someone offers them a cigarette and they're not no, I'm not a smoker. They're well, maybe just this one time. Like, this is what I'm dealing with. No, I'm not like addicted to drugs or anything, but cooked food is kind of, it has this like, you know, uncontrollable thing in my body. So what I did this time that I didn't do last time, so Mother's Day last year, I'm sorry, I'm bouncing around so much, but Mother's Day last year, we were at this vegan burger place. I got the burger off the bun, I got all the toppings on and like the little things on the side, and I had the option of my side dish. And I'm like, well, I guess if I'm gonna eat cooked food for this meal, I might as well get the sesame fries. When I could have got the kale salad on the side, still with an oily dressing, but it was kale and not cooked potatoes that have that, you know, starch and that comfort food and that, is it serotonin boost when you get all the sugars in your body? And yeah, in that moment, awesome. But then afterwards, I was like, oh, well, now I'm going to go to the gluten-free vegan bake shop and I'm going to get a brownie and I'm going to get a cookie. And it just started this like waterfall effect. And even though I kind of did off and on raw after that, it was never the same. And then I started to explore into a lot of gourmet raw, and I started really not paying attention to what I was putting in my body as far as anti-inflammatory foods, which is what I specifically need for gut health. So I kind of, you know, swung to the other end of the vegan pendulum. So what did I do recently? I mentioned that I was exposed to some of my trigger foods. I know that I've been gluten-free for over a decade, but even gluten-free grains, even rice, even quinoa, corn, potatoes, like these things are trigger foods for me. I just can't stop. I don't feel a fullness, a satiation. I just want to keep going, and then I start craving them over and over again. So in this past week, I have said no to corn chips on multiple occasions. That's like, you know, one of the top of the list. I've said no to cooked vegan food. I've said no to gluten-free cupcakes, gluten-free vegan cupcakes. I said no to rice. I've said no to potatoes. I've said no to all these foods that I know are triggers, and I know I just keep going even though I'm full, and I just keep shoveling the food in my face. What did I not say no to? So I went out for lunch on Sunday, and it was their choice, and I ended up having a burrito bowl in front of me. Or this was kind of my option. I used to get it, had rice and this and that. So I ended up modifying it so it was all raw except for some black beans. I felt like it's gonna give me a little treat, a little something starchy, but it's not going to send me into this crazy trigger. And it was on like a huge amount of greens and tomatoes and green onions, and so that's what I did. And then again, I put some black beans on a salad on Monday night. When I got home from teaching, I usually go through this, like I used to get takeout every Monday night. And so I was like, okay, I need comfort food. I just taught a bunch of classes. I need something. And so I made this salad. I put raw corn, black beans, salsa, avocado, lettuce, done. And that's kind of it. So I'm not gonna say that I fell off track, but early on is when I wanted to kind of explore and test myself a little bit. And yesterday I did a fully raw day, and now I'm in the process of simplifying more and more and getting back onto the kind of healing IBS, healing Crohn's and colitis, that protocol. So getting super simple again as I'm slowly phasing out these foods, because when I eat them I realize, okay, I really feel heavy and full, but that feeling doesn't feel good anymore. And that's like a huge revelation. That doesn't feel good anymore. You know what feels good? Feeling light, feeling free, feeling food that just goes in the stomach and moves right out and doesn't have this heaviness. The headaches aren't happening. It's awesome. So anyway, Thank you guys so much for watching. I know I made it a little longer than usual, but anyway, that's how it goes. See you in the next video. Bye.